Welcome back. I know I missed last week, but today I'm excited to listen to more Band-Maid. We just finished the single Start Over, which included Start Over and Screaming, which I really liked. And in the chronological journey that I'm on, the very next thing that Band-Maid released was the January 2019 single called Glory. That included the song Glory and Hide and Seek. And if I've got my dates listed right, they released another single on the same day, which was Bubble, that had Bubble and Smile. So I don't know which one was technically first, but I've got them both listed as January 16th, 2019. But today I'm going to do Glory and I'm going to do Hide and Seek. There will be timestamps in the description if you want to skip ahead to certain parts or skip back to certain parts. But right now I want to say one more reason that I'm thankful that Band-Maid exists. And that reason is local radio, or what is for me the sad state of local radio. Now, I don't have one of those fancy vehicles that has satellite radio and Bluetooth connected to the car and all that. I've got AM and I've got FM and I've got a little CD player that only plays the one disc that's stuck in there, and that's a Fresh Beat band that my kids listened to about 10 years ago and I can't get it out. But back to the FM radio. Yesterday, after I planted a tree, I went to one of the big box home centers to get some stakes and the ties so I could, stabilize the tree. And when I got in the car, just on a whim, I turned on the radio. And you know what? I decided I'll get the little notebook that I keep in the car and I'll start listing. I started at the bottom of the FM band and I went up, 88 point something all the way to 107 point something. And I just hit Seek. And every time it stopped, I'd listen long enough to know what I'm listening to, and then I would make a note and I went to the next one. I think the thing that surprised me the most was how few of them were actually on advertisements when I got to the station. Seems like usually when I do that, most of them are ads. But this time, this is what my list came up with. There were 6 religious stations. Some of those were music, some of those were talk. And I guess that comes in handy, if you can't do religion any other way and you need it on the FM radio. 5 stations were country and Western music. 4 stations were Spanish language. And I just combined all the Spanish language ones. Some of them were music, which I actually don't mind because I grew up in this area and it brings back some memories to listen to some of that, music that I heard at festivals when I was younger. But I don't understand the language and it's not really my favorite style of music. But anyway, 4 Spanish language stations. 4 stations were on ads when I got there. 3 were playing various iterations of hip hop. 2 were playing what passes for pop music these days. And only 1 was talk radio. And again, this was FM. I assume on AM there would be a lot more talk radio. And 1 had a strong signal, but was dead air. I don't know what that was about. I went back and checked again and it was still dead air. So, they must have had somebody pulled a plug in the studio. And 3 were classic rock. Now, those were the 3 stations that as soon as they got there, I recognized the song. 1 was Here I Go Again. And I remember when that was new, not classic, but it's classic now. There was Simple Man by Leonard Skinner. And there was I Love Rock and Roll by Joan Jett. I recognized those immediately, and at the end of that little experiment, I was really happy that my phone has 5G, and that it has Bluetooth, and that I have Bluetooth earbuds, and that Band-Maid exists. So when I put the vehicle in drive and actually went to buy the thing that I set out to buy, I was listening to Band-Maid in my earbuds, and I really enjoyed it. As I said, we're going to do Glory, and I'm just going to do the music video because I know they have an official music video for this. Let's go. Right off the bat, I like the opening beat for this song. The guitar has changed a little bit in its sound from the previous album, World Domination, but I think it's close enough that I really like it. Also, the pace of this song is pretty fast, which is something that I needed today. I needed a little bit of a pick-me-up, and that's what I was looking forward to, and here it is. And I'm pretty sure that I've seen the music video before, but I'm kind of interested in that too. This room looks pretty cool that they're playing in here, the performance part of the video, and of course the little bit of the story part of the video where they're wearing the goggles, whatever kind they are. That part looks pretty well made, and I don't know if what's happening in this room when they're playing is what they're seeing when they're in the goggles, if that's what they're supposed to be seeing this, or if they're seeing something else entirely. I don't know exactly how that's working out, but anyway, I'm going to back up just a little bit. On that first part, I was having just a little bit of trouble with the audio, getting it to go into the recording software correctly and into my headphones correctly and have both of those, balanced out correctly. So anyway. Sorry to pause at about the same place that I paused last time, but I noticed on this one, I think that was Psyche's hand that came up just a little bit. The one wearing the goggles. Her hand came up just a little bit as she was preparing to sing. I found that interesting. So if what they're seeing in the goggles is this scene here, then that might have been her, lifting the microphone up or signaling that she's about to sing. Anyway, just happened to catch that. Let's keep going. I also like about this song how quickly Psyche is spitting out the lyrics. Obviously, Miku is singing with her on some of them, but the precision and the speed at which she's getting those lyrics out is pretty impressive. As you probably know, if you've ever recorded yourself on video talking, the faster you go, the more difficult it is to get every syllable and every consonant out precisely without making a mistake. At least for me, the only way that I can do it without a mistake is to speak more slowly so that I can think about each word as it's coming out. Obviously, this comes with lots of practice, what she's doing here, but still, it's pretty impressive. I like the feel of the chorus too. There's an emotional vibe to it that I'm not sure how to describe, but it has a pleasant feeling, at least for me. I've backed up a few seconds. Let's keep going. I'm going to back up and do the beginning of this verse again. I like that really quick little riff in the background. I also noticed that this second verse is different. In a lot of their songs, at least recently, the second verse is kind of where the guitars drop back a little bit and it's more of a bass feature along with Psyche's vocals. But in this one, it seems to be a little bit more guitar driven, which I like, but I also like that it's in contrast to what they've been doing. And I did notice that the video here in this room is lightening. It's getting brighter and the colors have changed a little bit too. But when it first went into this room, it felt dark to me. But anyway, it's brightening up here. But just that little riff in the background here made it feel like the song got faster when it actually, I assume, did not. And also the audio here is pretty good. On a bunch of their music videos, I've had to go and change a bunch of settings to raise the audio high enough for you to hear it in this recording, but I think this one's coming across pretty good as is. Okay, I think I've backed up to right before the second verse begins, and I just want to hear that fast guitar riff again. Also, I'm not sure which one of the guitars this is, but this is the one that under some lights appears purplish, and I really like that rich purple color, but again, I don't know if that's just the effect of the light or if the guitar actually looks like that. Okay, there were a couple of really subtle bass features in that second verse, or at least they were subtle the way I've got my audio set up. As fast-paced as this song is, there's not a lot of time to notice each of the little things that they're doing, but it feels like they're doing a lot of different things. The guitar parts have changed up. They changed the pace and the feel of the song there right before they went back into the chorus. And again, it looks like they put a lot of work into the details here of this apparatus. For all I know, it was just something that was sitting around the studio when they decided to make the video, but it also could have been made for this video. I have no idea. But it looks as good as the technology that people come up with for science fiction movies. We're a little over halfway through. Let's keep going. That was a cool ending to the video where apparently the ghost in the machine has escaped and is, taking over the real life version. Who knows which one's the real life version. I also liked the parts in this song where the vocals panned back and forth really quickly. I think it did it once with Psyche, or maybe twice with Psyche, and then I think it did it once with Miku, but it was also hard to tell because the voice had a filter effect on it at that point. But anyway, that was pretty cool how it pans back and forth, an effect you wouldn't get as much with just speakers as you do, obviously, with headphones. And if I'm not mistaken, that song did not have a guitar solo, which again is fine. It felt like, she was doing plenty of work in this song, but I think that's 2 titles from 2 singles in a row that didn't have a guitar solo, which after the blistering ones that she had on that entire album, World Domination, even the slow songs had amazing, just beautiful, enjoyable guitar solos. It's fine if she does a couple of songs without them. And because of that, I can't really choose any one of the members that I think did the best on this song. Akane was doing plenty of work on the drums. There was a nice galloping beat, especially through the choruses and I think the second verse and the outro. I've already mentioned the guitars doing plenty of work throughout. Both vocalists were in there. The bass was doing plenty of work. The little slower part after the second chorus, I felt like that was extended a little bit longer than they normally do. But the bass guitar got a lot of work in there, and it sounded really nice. There's nothing wrong with this song. It's fun. I love the pace and the bounciness of it. But let's go on to Hide and Seek. One problem with Hide and Seek is that I don't have a copy of it here. Now, Glory, I have a copy of that because I own the album Conqueror, and Glory's on there. And I have the best of albums, which Glory is on. But Hide and Seek, the B-side of this, I don't have a copy of because they didn't put it on their best of albums. And as far as I can tell, it's not on any of the albums that I have. So I'm going to have to get the audio here on YouTube. Okay, I have found the audio-only version of Hide and Seek here on YouTube. And I think that because this one doesn't have an official music video and it's not on any of the albums that I own, I might not have heard this song before. Okay, there were several moving parts there. One was the really cool sound as the song started, but it just came in quick and then started going. Then it changed here right before the vocals. That's only 17 seconds. Let's do it again. I think we're going into the chorus. I like how that first verse left a lot of space for the drums, the bass, and the vocals, and you get that by pulling back on the guitars, right? The guitars were there, but they left space, and I like that. And I like that when they did come in, they were interesting. It felt like there were changes of pace in the vocals too, which kind of kept me guessing. Backing up just a few seconds, I think going into the first chorus. Wow, quite a bit happened there that was the second verse, right? I'm not sure. The guitars definitely didn't leave as much space as they did in the first one. They were doing things the whole time. And I have a feeling it might have been a little difficult to listen to if I understood everything she was saying, because my brain would have had more points of attachment. As it was, I was trying to catch the drums and the bass and the guitars, and the vocals just set in there as another instrument to me when I'm not sure what they're saying. So I think that's actually a bonus sometimes, that it's just more music when it doesn't activate the language centers in my brain. I suspect someone trained in music would have gotten a lot more out of that than I did, but mostly what I got out of it was that a lot of things were happening and it sounded pretty cool. There was a long section, just like the last 10 seconds or so, where it felt like the drums were doing a roll the whole time building up to that. In fact, I'm going to back up and catch at least part of that again.
Nobody can stop me.
Well, there was definitely a guitar solo in this song, and I felt like the guitar solo could have been divided into 4 or 5 distinct parts, which is, I guess, normal for Konami, but the first part was just, I think, the same note, just picked really fast for a few measures. Then there was a couple of repeating patterns, and then it went into a different kind of guitar solo, and so on. And the chorus on this one is really bouncy and positive. I don't know what they're saying most of the time. I caught a few English lyrics, but it felt really positive. The vibe of the song is fun and positive and uplifting. I actually want to catch that last chorus and guitar solo again. Pardon me for backing up and wanting to hear my favorite band for a few more seconds.
Nobody can stop me.
I believe that was the end. It just kind of cut off. For a second there, it was repeating that really high, fast-picked note that was at the beginning of the guitar solo, but then it changed just a little bit and it was over. That's a really fun song. On the version here on YouTube, it's exactly 3 minutes long. For a B-side, that's really good. I know it's basically a trope in the music industry by now that very often the B-sides are the hidden gem. In this one, I think Glory was, at least for me, the better song, but this one's really good too. And again, because it didn't show up on any of the albums, as far as I know, this is the only place you can get it, if you wanted to own a copy, you know what I mean? You'd have to buy the Glory single to get this. Obviously, you can listen to it on Spotify or YouTube, as I'm doing. I was hoping to find a live version of this, and I looked. There are a couple of fan cams, one that has slightly better audio and one that has slightly better video. I think one from New York and one from Paris, but I'll leave you to find and enjoy those on your own. I got what I needed today, which was my daily dose of Band-Maid, Hide and Seek, Glory. Glory's moving up my list. If you don't know, I have a playlist on Spotify, which is kind of a ranked list of Band-Maid songs, but because I'm also doing this chronological reaction review journey, I'm having to kind of delay reordering or resorting that because I haven't gotten to all the songs yet. But anyway, Glory is going up that list, and I don't know where Hide and Seek is on it, if at all. I'm going to have to find it and move it up as well because, again, both just magnificent. And what's next in our Band-Maid journey? Oh, as I mentioned, next is their single Bubble, which, as far as I can tell, came out on the same day. So I'll have Bubble and Smile next time I get time. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time.